Sports on a Sunday morning. Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Well, what a day we have in store for us. It is going to be a lot of fun around here. Sports on a Sunday morning coming to you from the Stifel Sports Studio. Look at that background. We got Mizzou, we got golf, we got soccer, and we have racing. If you can watch on the screen, if you're watching me on YouTube or X or Facebook, wherever you consume sports on a Sunday morning. If you're listening on the radio, we love that, of course. But you can see I'm wearing my Worldwide Technology Raceway shirt. James C and TV, I'm supposed to put this cord behind my back. That's how we're supposed to do it. We don't. They don't like you to show your audio cord over your shoulder like that. See, this is a Worldwide Technology Raceway shirt. I do have a partnership with the racetrack with Curtis Francois and Chris Blair. I love those guys, and I've been working with them for about 5 years. I remember when the NASCAR Cup was a fantasy. Nobody thought they would get it. In fact, whenever it was brought up, people said they will never get a Cup race. You can forget about it. They're not coming to that track. They're not coming to St. Louis. Well, Curtis Francois took that as a challenge. He partnered with David Stewart, the founder of Worldwide Technology, and lo and behold, what do they have here? They have their fourth Cup race, and it's a playoff race. And James, they've added a fifth. There's another one coming next year, so it's already on the calendar for next year. So this is a big deal coming up here at 2:00 this afternoon. All eyes on Worldwide Technology Raceway, the Enjoy Illinois 300 in Madison, Illinois. I'll be heading over there right after Cardinals pregame. Speaking of the Cardinals, what a day for Jordan Walker. And I want to skip right to that because he is the man of the hour and was last night. He's been talked about a lot this week on KMOX and on every other station and blog and newspaper. They all talked about what Brant Brown, the hitting coach, said on the Gas House Gang, that, and Ollie Marmol too. He was there, that they questioned and were challenging Jordan to be better all around, better when he's preparing, better when he's ready for the next pitcher he's going to face, and especially these bullpens that he could end up facing. What will he be facing was the question. And what he faced last night in the Giants was a closer that just lost it. This was a bases loaded, nobody out situation that just snowballed on the Giants. The Cardinals scored a couple of runs to tie the game, and then Jordan Walker with an opportunity to win the game.
The pitch. Walker lines it. It goes down the left field line. One run's going to score. Hampson's going to score. That's a Red Bird winner. A walk-off. Light it up. Light it up in downtown St. Louis. The Cardinals mob Walker. The fireworks go off. The Cardinals scored 3 in the 9th without an out. And Walker broke out of his 0 for 25 with a ball that got past Chapman. And the Cardinals celebrate on the field, evening the series at a game apiece, beating San Francisco 3-2.
An absolutely phenomenal call by the voice of the Cardinals, John Rooney, who described it all. The ball did go off of Matt Chapman, who's otherwise a tremendous third baseman for the Giants, but it deflects off of him and 2 runs scored. Not only does Walker tie the game, but he wins the game, and with no outs recorded. Gorman with a hit, Wynn with a hit, Crooks hit by a pitch, and then Hampson comes in to pinch run for Crooks. This is all on Ryan Walker's watch, who was trying to close the game for the Giants. Sajaci with a hit, scoring a run. That's Gorman, and then Jordan Walker with his double earns him a visit after the game with Mike Claiborne.
Our player of the game tonight, what a night for Jordan Walker. It seems like the weight of the world is off your head right now.
Yeah, man, I mean, there's no secret it's been a struggle lately, man, but to come through, have the whole team come through right there, man, it's awesome, man. Let's keep going.
I would ask you to take me through that at bat, but you didn't waste any time taking the first pitch.
Nah, man, no outs, bases loaded. I need to get something in play. I need to put it in the air somewhere, score a run. Yeah.
What's this week been like for you? I know there's been a lot of things said and done about you and what's going on with the ball club. How does this feel right now, getting this big winning hit tonight?
To be honest, none of that matters now, man. We're trying to make the playoff push, man. None of that matters, so I'm sorry. Yeah, it's all good.
How does that feel right now?
Hey, pretty good, man. Pretty good.
All right, Jordan Walker is our player of the game.
Amen.
That's awesome. I love to hear it. He obviously gets doused there, and he said, none of that bleep matters right now. We're just trying to make a playoff push. Well, they're a little far from that, but you just want to see the excitement of these players having a good time, and someone like Jordan Walker, who was 0 for 25 to come through with the game-winning hit. And you can see how much his teammates are pulling for him and how much they love him. They were all over him after that game. Cardinals a half game behind the Reds in the National League Central and in the wild card standings. They are far from a wild card spot. They're 5.5 out. It's the Giants who are the closest, and that hurts the Giants more than anything. They're 4 out of a wild card spot. They had a chance to close in on the Mets, but blew it. It's the Cubs, Padres, and Mets owning the 3 wild card spots in the National League, with the Giants sitting 4 out. Cards and Giants this afternoon. It's right here on KMOX, and unfortunately for the Giants, they're going to have to face a motivated Sonny Gray, who lost his last start to the Athletics, and he will be highly motivated to pitch well here today as the Cards try to win another series. Also yesterday, a tremendous day for the Mizzou football fans. They went to Columbia and I think got a little nervous. And if any of them told you they weren't, they are lying. They gave up 3 touchdowns in the first quarter to the Jayhawks, and it was 21-6. But Mizzou rallied 15 points, put their foot down in the second quarter, and tied the game at the break. And then Mizzou outscores KU 21-10 in the second half. They come back not once, not twice, but 3 times in this ball game, and they beat KU 42-31. It was a great game for the St. Louis kids, most notably Kevin Coleman, who is coming on to the show today at 10:30. He had 10 catches for 126 and a touchdown. Brett Norfleet. Coleman is from St. Mary's. Norfleet from Francis Howell. Norfleet had a great day. After the Jayhawks took a 24-21 lead, the Tigers moved 12 plays, 75 yards, 3rd and goal from the 11. Bo Perbula over the middle hits Brett Norfleet for the touchdown, and Mizzou goes up. And when they were down 31-28, what did they do? Perbula to Norfleet again. 4th and 1 at the KU 27. Norfleet snuck out to the left, caught a quick pass, ran 27 yards down the sideline for a touchdown that gave Mizzou the lead they would not relinquish. 35-31. They win it 42-31. And Illinois played a great game as well. They smashed Duke in the second half, beat the Blue Devils 45-19. Number 11, Illinois, projected by ESPN right now to be a college football playoff team. We're only through 2 weeks, but there's already a lot of buzz about this game coming up in week 4 if both teams take care of business. Illinois gets Western Michigan next week. Indiana's getting Indiana State next week. And then you have a pair of 3-0 teams potentially going at it in Bloomington on September 20th for an early look at who could be an at-large coming out of the Big Ten. Both teams will be ranked in the top 20, and both teams are going to be fighting for what could be an awesome game on September 20th. There's so much going on around here. We talked about the Enjoy Illinois 300 about to start. The Stiefel Charity Classic wraps up today. CEO Ron Kruszewski is on the show. Alex Cheka and Stuart Sink are the co-leaders in that one. Let's get the latest from Dan Reardon.
A trio of players held the second-round lead at some point on Saturday in the Stiefel Charity Classic before a finish that finds a quartet a stroke apart this afternoon. Stuart Sink surrendered his lead with a double bogey at the 7th, fought back to regain the lead before a bogey at 18 left him 9 under and always in the 60s for his brief career at Norwood Hills. Germany's Alex Cheka had a 5 under 66 to climb alone at the top for a while at -9. And Denmark's Thomas Bjorn made the turn in the lead at 9 under until a bogey at 10 dropped him to 8 and finishing with 8 straight pars. And then there is Paul Stankowski looking for his first senior win after 5 years on tour, tied with Bjorn at 8 under and in the final group with Sink and Cheka. Covering the Stiefel Charity Classic, Dan Reardon for KMOX Radio Sports.
City a 1-1 draw with Dallas, SLU and SIUE for the bronze boot tonight. Am I missing anything, James? I mean, there's just a million things. Oh, NFL Week 1. We have our picks coming up at 11:05. And again, the Enjoy Illinois 300 gates are open, parking lots are open. Get over there. You have plenty of time, but enjoy yourself and take it all in. There's so much. Kenny Wallace is on stage right now over there. It's going to be a great time. Lots of music, and the weather is absolutely perfect for racing. NASCAR Cup right here. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson on the front row, but we have a row of Christopher Bell, Austin Cindric, and Chase Briscoe on KMOX next. And I'm here to tell you that those three, any of them could win this race. I would put them in my top 5 favorites for today. Back in a moment. Sports on a Sunday morning from the Stifel Sports Studio.
104.1 FM, KMOX. News, talk, sports.
This is Megan Lynch for Ophthalmology Associates. Do you worry about going to see someone about your eyesight because you're stressed about the tests that they might run, and more specifically, the equipment that they might use? Ophthalmology Associates has the latest technology to see inside your eyes and detect issues without discomfort, and they have a great staff that guides you through the entire process. Call 314-966-5000 or go to youridoc.com. You can see the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates, Doctors Greg Birdie, that's who I see, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. From issues like dry eye to conditions such as cataracts and glaucoma, the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates will guide you through your diagnosis and your treatment options. For more information, call Ophthalmology Associates, 314-966-5000. That's 314-966-5000. Or go to youridoc.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
At California Psychics, we know that sometimes you can wake up thinking,
I don't know if I'm in the right career, or the right relationship.
But whatever your life dilemma, at California Psychics, we'll give you the guidance you need to feel certain about your life choices. And because we only connect you with the very best, we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Well, sometimes things just work out well for you. I had prearranged an interview with Chase Briscoe, and lo and behold, there I am watching the Southern 500, and who is dominating that race and looking for the checkered flag? Chase Briscoe. I know that I cover these things for a living, but in those situations you start rooting for victory, and Chase Briscoe did go on to victory again in the Southern 500. I love when things work out like that. Chase, thanks for joining us on KMOX as we get ready for you to race here in St. Louis.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it was certainly a good weekend in Darlington, and hopefully, be another good weekend in St. Louis this weekend.
You are going to be in the Enjoy Illinois 300 this Sunday, the NASCAR Cup playoffs coming to Worldwide Technology Raceway. We'll get into that in just a minute, but what is it for you in Darlington? Why do you love it so much? I've watched your post-game interview with your cute son there right with you, and you had such a good time together, but you talked about how Darlington means a lot to you.
It's definitely been a place for whatever reason. Just my entire career has been really good to me. It's definitely the track I would say I've won at the most in NASCAR. And I mean, honestly, from the first time I ever went there, I just kind of fell in love with the racetrack. And it just, there's some racetracks that fit your driving style more than others. And Darlington, for whatever reason, it has always kind of just fit how I drive a race car. So yeah, it's a really cool place to, have success at. It's such a, just a historic racetrack in NASCAR, and just the history there. It's, one of the longest running tracks there is in NASCAR. And for us to, be able to win, a crown jewel race there and do it 2 years in a row is certainly special.
Those father-son moments are fun, aren't they? How old is he?
He'll be 4 in October.
That's so cool. I love that. Who's coming to St. Louis? It's the playoffs. It's time to roll here at the Enjoy Illinois 300. What do you think about our track here, Worldwide Technology Raceway, the 1.25 mile oval?
Yeah, honestly, I've always enjoyed coming to St. Louis. It's been a track that, even in the Truck Series, is kind of similar to Darlington. The first time I went to St. Louis, I just was fast for whatever reason. And, the Cup car, the race results haven't necessarily been that way, but certainly from just a speed standpoint, I feel like that's been one of my, I wouldn't say it's my best track, but I certainly feel like it's, kind of right there around the top 10. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to coming there this weekend. It's kind of like a second home race for me. It's only 3.5 hours from where I grew up in Indiana. So we'll have a lot of family there this weekend, which is always cool. And yeah, just, it's such a hidden part of the, motorsports world. I feel like that St. Louis area, there's so many dirt tracks and just race tracks and just honestly race fans in that kind of market. And it's packed every time we come there. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
I love that you said that. I'm from here, but I went to Indiana University, and what I find is a lot of my friends from Indiana come over. I think they've appreciated also the tradition that they've maybe discovered a little bit more. What you just described, that there are deep roots here in racing in St. Louis.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's just so many motorsports fans in that area, and you have, honestly, like I was saying earlier, there's so many just, little dirt tracks right there within, an hour and a half driving distance of even just the Cup tracks. So, yeah, I know for me, it's always cool when we come there because I'll normally try to get to one of the dirt tracks and, either race myself or just go and watch. And, yeah, I mean, it is a short little drive over from, Indiana. I'm from, 25 minutes south of where Indiana University is. So definitely know a lot of people from there that are coming this weekend. And, yeah, it's just it's going to be a special weekend for sure.
This is Chase Briscoe, who just won the Southern 500 and on his way to St. Louis, Madison, Illinois, for the Enjoy Illinois 300. And final thing for you, Chase, I mean, this is playoff time now. So this is our first experience with the playoff race, our fourth Cup race. What is the difference from a driver perspective, and what can fans expect?
I think they can just expect way more intensity. I mean, when the playoffs come around, the intensity just ratchets up. The chaos kind of gets a little bit higher. I feel like, the restarts, everything is just, there's way more intensity to it because there's way more on the line. And, not to say in the regular season we're not all going for it, because we certainly are, but, just the give and take kind of gets thrown out the window, I feel like, when the playoffs finally come around. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see, how that looks at St. Louis, just because St. Louis is a track where, typically you do have to give and take some. So, yeah, it'll the restarts will be wild. Just the racing in general will be wild. Guys will have shorter tempers and everything else because they have the urgency because of the playoffs. So, yeah, I think it'll be an incredible race this weekend for sure.
We're looking forward to it. Chase Briscoe with us. He'll be in the Enjoy Illinois 300 Worldwide Technology Raceway this Sunday at 2:00 is when it all gets started. But as you well know by now, it's a weekend of activity here in the St. Louis area. Chase, thanks so much. Joe Gibbs Racing, good luck to all of you over there.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Great to have Chase Briscoe on the show. This is Austin Cindric, who won the race last year and didn't have to change tires too often, and did it when Ryan Blaney ran out of fuel.
It's one of the few races that I've won and kind of been shocked afterwards, not to maybe sound arrogant, but like usually things don't progress that quickly, and especially like a long green flag run, like the way the race ended last year, you're pretty sure of how things are going to end, and when they don't, and in your favor, it's it's super exciting. But Obviously, we had a really strong weekend. The entire team did, but being able to qualify in the front row and lead a ton of laps, but also come away with a win that was really, really critical to our season last year.
And that's racing for you, isn't it? I mean, it is just – you never know what's going to happen. It is a team sport. You get yourself as prepared as possible. What is it like preparing for this track specifically, Worldwide Technology Raceway?
Yeah, the track definitely has a lot more challenges, or maybe different challenges than some others. Just really long straightaways with tighter corners. So definitely requires a lot of different things out of the car, kind of a unique aero package, unique tires. So there's a lot of things that kind of separate it from maybe other tracks of that size on the schedule. But a lot of shifting, which I think really complements our engine package with the Ford Mustang. But otherwise, it's a fun track. It's really unique, and I think we always enjoy coming to it.
NASCAR recently announced that the playoffs are going to come back to St. Louis in 26. They announced it before we even ran one. But it's also because of the success that the Cup has had here already. What have you noticed about St. Louis, the team around the track, and the people that have made it happen?
Yeah, obviously, it kind of speaks for itself that the track, definitely has done an awesome job at promoting the events, whether it be us or IndyCar. The stands are always packed. So as a competitor and as a fan, I think that's awesome to see and really cool to be a part of. But I think the venue's also put on some really good racing as well. So certainly excited to hear that we're going back in the playoffs, and it's definitely going to be an important race for us this year in the playoffs.
Last thing, how would you describe playoffs to the fans out there? What is that like? What is the feeling among the drivers? How do things get ramped up that time of year?
I mean, you learn a lot more about your competitors when the pressure's on. I think that's the most fun thing for me about it. I've been in the playoff format and all three steps of the national series, and you learn a lot about your competition when the pressure gets put on. I like to think that I approach every race as important as a playoff race, because at the end of the day, the way our series works, if you win, you're in the playoffs. So every race is that important, and every race could change your season. So I approach with the same intensity that I always do. So I like to think that not a whole lot changes. Just the importance of execution is at a premium. So I think for us and the two teams, we just got to go out and do what we're capable of. But look, I mean, mistakes are highlighted way bigger, and especially to make out of the first two rounds of the playoffs, it's a lot more about not making mistakes than it is about hitting home runs.
The 2024 champion of the Enjoy Illinois 300, Austin Cindric, already a part of St. Louis racing history and looking to make some more. We appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We were doing that interview at Mama's on the Hill. A very nice little taste of Italian for Austin Cindric, the defending champion. Here's Christopher Bell. He is a favorite of KMOX because he joins us each and every year. He's got a shot of winning this race.
I am super excited to be going back to Worldwide Technology Raceway. It feels like it's been forever. We had a summer race last time. It's a little bit later in the year now, but that's okay with me. With it being in the playoffs, it's just going to make the atmosphere more intense, and I think the fans are going to be in for a good treat and a good show.
Yeah, what is that like for the fans who haven't seen that? What is the playoff like from your perspective?
Yeah, the intensity is just through the roof, and you can feel it whenever you go out for driver intros. WWT Raceway, they haven't had a problem of lacking energy, that's for sure. I think every time we've been there, it's been a sellout. But going back in the fall time, the weather is going to be beautiful whenever we get to St. Louis, and I think that the playoffs, it just provides an intense atmosphere, and all the drivers are going to be hard going at it.
As I told you off the air, I work with the track as one of their partners, and from the top down, they have been all class. Curtis Francois, the owner of the track, who really rescued that facility back in 2011, and someone who you've been very close with, the general manager, Chris Blair. It is a well-run facility. What is it like for the drivers? What do they say about it, and in particular, your experiences?
Yeah, they've just done such a great job at making that race special. And, with 36 races throughout the year, it just becomes a little bit, mundane. Like you just go to a race and it's just another race, and it's just one of, 36 on the calendar. But Curtis and Chris Blair, they do such a good job there in St. Louis that it feels like a big event, and it feels special every time you walk into that place. And especially whenever it comes race time, they have a little gold mine with the way that the track is shaped. It's very unique. There's not another track out there like it. And so, you go to an intermediate style track, and there's just, they all kind of look and race the same, but there's not a track out there that races like WWT Raceway.
That's Christopher Bell, and it'll be a lot of fun, that's for sure, to see him and the rest of the field go at it today. It is different track. It's like an egg-shaped track that they have to really concentrate throughout and strategize as a team. When we come back, what a performance by Kevin Coleman, the Mizzou wide receiver. The St. Louisan, a trio of St. Louisans, did some damage yesterday to the Kansas Jayhawks. We'll have that live next. Kevin Coleman, who has something available for you at grocery stores here very soon. Back in a moment on Sports on a Sunday Morning from the Stifel Sports Studio.
This isn't your typical lunchtime baseball chatter. This is the Gas House Game.
I'll say this. Here's my perspective.
Tom Ackerman, Chris Ronti, Mike Claiborne, and Bernie Miklasz bring smart, informed Cards talk. And every Tuesday,
we welcome in the manager of the Cardinals, Oliver Marmol.
You want real Cardinals conversation? You're in the right place. The Gas House Gang, weekdays at noon on 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of baseball.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. This is your last chance to live in a brand new home at The Preserve, located at Mackenzie and Watson Roads. We have 5 outstanding homes ready for move-in at amazing prices and special financing as low as 4.75%. Choose from ranch or 1.5-story homes backing to woods. Our luxurious Turnberry display is now for sale. Also, get up to $10,000 in free closing costs. Isn't it time to move up to McKelvey?
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2025. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis service valet within 125 miles. We're closer than you think. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com today. Based on GMA sales records for 2024. See dealer for details.
Missouri, get ready! The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code KMOX to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. That's code KMOX in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Here's a few questions for you from California Psychics. Do your workdays seem to go on forever? Is your career progression as fast as downtown traffic? Or does your boss still not know your name?
Hey, you, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
It's time to read the career warning signs and talk to California Psychics. We're always on hand to give you the career guidance you need. You see, we only connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. So you could soon be telling your boss where to stick that report.
Where are you going, Terry? Terry!
Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
KMOX Weekend at your service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Permula up the seam, and he's got it complete. Kevin Coleman on the move. Coleman shut down a bounds near the goal line.
Wow, Kevin Coleman Jr. had a game. 10 catches, 126 yards, and a touchdown for the St. Louis product. And live on KMOX's Sports on a Sunday morning, we welcome in the Mizzou wide receiver, the St. Mary's product, Kevin Coleman. to KMOX. How are you, Kevin? Congrats on the win over KU.
Yes, sir. I'm doing great. Appreciate that.
It's good to talk to you. Kevin, I first met you in a suite at the Bragging Rights game, and we exchanged phone numbers. And what we talked about, I can tell the audience, it's fine, is like, you and I should do some radio sometime. You brought it up to me like, hey, you and I should talk sometime. Well, here we are. I mean, and by the way, we booked this interview before you went off on the Jayhawks because you have a bag of chips coming out that I want to tell people about. But man, I mean, you've got to be still thinking such great thoughts and memories floating into your mind about yesterday at Faurot Field.
Man, that was a dream come true, man. I knew the rivalry and the history it had upon both states, and just to come out with the win, being down 15, and just overcome adversity with a great group of guys and brothers I have, man, couldn't be more special than what it was.
One of my favorite things that I heard from you yesterday was an interview you did with my friend Tamar Scher of KMOV on the field. And when she asked you about your accomplishments, you said, my favorite play was my block for Jamal Roberts. And I love that. Tell me how that developed.
Man, first just practice habits. Shout out to Coach Pillar. He helped me create a lot of great practice habits when it comes to blocking. He's on the receivers about every small detail, especially at practice, because practice is going to turn into game day reality. Your practice habits. So sorry about that. Yeah. So when I made the block, it was just like a day of practice. And I just heard Coach Pillar screaming at me, "You got to make the block." But right before that play, I told Jamal Roberts, "Hey, the GB and Coach Luber, the running backs coach, the GBs are about to be the ones that end this game." And when I seen the signal come in, I knew Jamal Roberts was going to get it. I knew I had to make the block so he can be special and do the rest.
Robert,
that's just my high school friend. Sorry about that. Yeah. No, that's just my high school. I mean, not my high school friend, but my high school teammate and a guy I grew up with since we were kids. And man, to see him happy and see him smiling and make the big time play to close the game, that's bigger than what I did.
Yeah. I was going to mention to the audience there that's the extra part of it, is that not only is he a St. Louis kid, but he's a St. Mary's grad like you, a redshirt sophomore who you've seen growing up. I mean, what a special thing to have all of this St. Louis presence on this Missouri football team right now.
No, yes, sir. Just trying to put on for the city, and so the guys that's come after us, it's possible to stay consistent, have good character, and just keep moving forward.
When you fell behind early in the game, what is it like on the sideline? And specifically, what does Coach Drinkwitz bring to this team in moments like that?
Man, the sideline, everyone was just poised. Everyone was calm, but everyone was moving with a sense of urgency. The energy definitely had to be brought up. Momentum had to be flipped. And we told each other we just got to play complementary football. Get a stop, we'll score. Defense get a stop, the offense will score. So we just kept uplifting each other and just being there for one another. I didn't see no complaining, no one blaming each other. It was just this play mentality. And Coach Drink, he the one that installed that into the whole team. Stay poised, stay calm. Things are going to happen. Football teaches you life lessons. Things are going to happen, but it's about how you respond. So when we got down, we practiced moments being down. It was another day of practice, just in front of a crowd, so a bigger crowd. So when we was down, man, everybody was like, bro, we got time. As long as there's time on the clock, never give up. So that was our mentality.
Kevin Coleman Jr. is with us, transferred back home to his state of Missouri from Mississippi State. They had a big win yesterday, beating Arizona State. But Kevin, 42-31 over KU. I mean, it was great. And it's also, in this day and age where you're transferring schools, you have to be able to create a bond and a chemistry with your teammates. And, of course, in your position with your quarterback. But I'm hearing and seeing that things are going very well between you and Bo Perbula.
Yes, sir. Nah, Bo's a great guy off the field, and a great guy on the field. He's a guy that's trying to spread the ball, spread the love around. Just a great guy. Great arms, mobile. Man, he got everything, but he's a special guy and very important to this offense.
And so is Kevin Coleman Jr., who wears number 3, as Luther Burden III did. And how much of that do you think about carrying on what he did at Mizzou?
But that number right there, number 3, always been a part of who I am. But definitely Luther Burton wearing it and leaving a legacy in it. My thing is I want to leave my legacy in it, but I also have to leave it better than I found it. So that's my thing, just leave it better than I found it. So the next guy that wears that jersey know the shoes he's stepping into and knowing what he's dealing with, and he needs to leave it better than he found it. But also, we just trying to carry that St. Louis legacy.
Absolutely.
I always play around and throw that out there and say, the next guy I want to wear the jersey is another St. Louis guy, but he need to be prepared for what comes with it.
Now, I teased people about the chips, so let me close with that and talk a couple of minutes with you about Snack Fanatics and the Red Hot Honey Barbecue flavored Ridge potato chips, which I've already had a bag, and they're phenomenal. But I remember when Luther had his, and so up in the corner of the bag, it says, same great taste, new number 3. Kevin Coleman Jr. has a special edition potato chips. They're sold inside Faroe concessions, by the way, but here in St. Louis, you can get them at Schnuck stores, and some other STL players are going to have special flavors as well. But that had to have been great. I know that when it came to NIL deals, this is one you wanted.
Man, this is the one I wanted. It's a dream come true. Shout out Kruszewski and the rest of the people that helped me get this opportunity and be blessed with this opportunity. But, man, it's a dream come true. Growing up where I grew up in St. Louis, going into convenience stores and seeing different celebrities on chips and thinking like, man, one day if that was me, that'd be a dream come true. And coming back to my home state and playing for my home state, that was already a dream come true. Then getting some chips that I'd seen celebrities be on as a kid, and then now I'm that guy on the chips, man, it's just a dream come true and a blessing. And I appreciate everyone that helped me out.
They're so good. My review on the chips, they hit you with that sweet barbecue taste at first, and then that heat creeps in later, right? A few seconds later, that heat creeps in. But, man, they're good. I ate a whole bag watching football yesterday.
Hey, that spice gets you. After the game, I was starving. But I ate me a bag of chips. I'm like, okay, it's good, because I already had tried them. But then that spice kicked in. I'm like, I need some water.
Yeah. Oh, they're so good. I have a picture of the bag for our viewers here. This is, of course, KMOX Radio, but we're also streaming online so the viewers can see what it looks like. But it'll be easy to find at Schnucks. You just grab the bag that has Kevin's picture on it. He's pointing at you. He's holding the football in his left hand and pointing at you, saying, buy this bag of chips in his right hand. It's really great. I'm excited for you. I mean this. When I first met you, just a great vibe about you. I think you have what it takes, not only obviously to be a great player in the SEC, which you've already proven, but I think a great representative and living a life that can be an example for these teammates. So thank you for what you do.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Appreciate the recognition. Shout out to my parents for helping me out and my coaches.
Well, good luck the rest of the way. It's going to be a fun ride, and congrats on the win over KU.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a great one.
You too. That's Mizzou wide receiver Kevin Coleman Jr. joining us live on KMOX after a monster day yesterday. 10 catches, 126 yards, and a touchdown, and a big block, freeing Jamal Roberts, a big fourth down play. And we mentioned the bag of chips that you can buy, the Snack Fanatics. They're really good. When we come back, it's the Blues GM in waiting, Alex Steen, the Stanley Cup champion. Can't wait to talk some hockey. Hockey is coming soon. This is KMOX.
Grab some friends and make your own fall planter at our DIY workshop at Chesterfield Valley Nursery's Garden Center. Learn to create your own fall fabulous planters for your porch or patio in our fall planter class. Our garden center provides different planter sizes to choose from, as well as organic Coast of Maine potting mix and a selection of beautiful fall flowers. Bring fall home with a porch or patio planter when you attend a DIY planter class in the garden center at Chesterfield Valley Nursery.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. You know, when you go to the Audiology Center, you'll see a doctor of audiology. And with us right now, Dr. Colleen Bosler. Dr. Bosler, what are some of the signs of hearing loss?
Well, it's a number of things. Sometimes loved ones notice a person asking others to repeat themselves, or the television is too loud. What people tend to notice first with hearing loss is the loss of clarity. They can hear people talking, but they cannot always understand what's being said. That's because the hearing loss can cause you to miss certain consonant sounds, and those consonant sounds give us the detail to the word. A hearing aid can help bring back those details and give you a sense of clarity that you're missing.
Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center with 3 locations in the greater St. Louis area. Call for an appointment, 636-441-7470. Online, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
A little kindness goes a long way.
Hold a door, share a compliment, just be polite. It doesn't cost a thing.
And it can change someone's whole day.
Let's prove the world's a little brighter than the headlines.
So let's all do our part, one small act at a time.
Because kindness is contagious.
The Chris and Amy Show, sharing kindness with Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Mark Cantor at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, so I take this very seriously. Mark is a great attorney. He has a great team. He is from St. Louis. He is local. Call 314-628-9999 or visit cantorinjurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Dive into adventure this summer at the St. Louis Aquarium's Summer of the Shark. Get face to fin with some of the ocean's most awe-inspiring creatures in shark-themed exhibits, jaw-dropping displays, and interactive experiences for the whole family. Whether you're a fin-tastic fan or just curious, there's hands-on fun and fascinating facts around every corner at the St. Louis Aquarium. Don't miss your chance to make a splash. Plan your visit today at stllouisunionstation.com. That's stllouisunionstation.com.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourEyeDoc.com.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. What fun we've had already talking NASCAR and baseball and visiting right there with Mizzou wide receiver Kevin Coleman. Now we get to get a little hockey in our lives, and joining us is Alexander Steen, a Stanley Cup champion, and he is the GM in waiting. He will be replacing Doug Armstrong when Armstrong's contract runs out, and it is great to have Steener with us on KMOX once again. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm good. Yourselves?
Doing great. It's great to be with you. And I've got to say that hockey couldn't come soon enough. I know it's a short off season, but this team, I think, has a real shot. I'm just curious to kind of get this out of the way. The way things ended last year, how nice is it to be able to get on the ice? And as painful as it was, how quickly can you brush that away and start anew, knowing what you have?
Well, the summer is a good time for it. It's, whenever the summer feels this long, it's always a positive. Guys heal up and the excitement starts to build, getting back into training camp, which is just around the corner now. But I think there's a humility to that second half. I think we understand the work that was put in throughout the course of the season to get us into a position that we were in at the end. And, for us, it's about building back those habits and almost starting over again at building all those consistencies in our game and in our preparation, the way we conducted ourselves in order to come out of the gates with a good start here.
The rookies report to camp on Wednesday. They'll hit the ice at Centene for practice on Thursday and Friday, and then they'll travel to Minnesota to play prospects from the Wild and the Blackhawks. You get right after it. What do you like about the youth of this team right now?
Well, it's been interesting that they've obviously grown together now. Like, they've gotten a connection with each other. They stay in touch throughout the course of the seasons and especially during the summer. And then they get together like this and compete as a group for a couple of games. I think, especially for a chunk of the guys. This past summer has been a good summer. Like it'll be interesting to see the growth that's happened with everybody. But there's an age group there where this is the first summer where they're not really pulled in a lot of different directions. They've been able to have sort of build their routines and focus on the quality of their training and also being able to have some family time. Like there was no real pull for, national team camps and draft and combines and development camps. And so there's a lot going on during the summer. And then this year would be the first year where a lot of them have a chance to really put some muscle onto their frame and come in here with a big excitement and prepared and ready to go.
And there's some great names too. I mean, Snuggerud and Kyrou, and you look at what Dylan Holloway might be able to do. Kyrou is more of a veteran now, but there's so much like potential just sitting right there in terms of scoring. That's exciting. And then defense, how do you think that has lined up, especially your off-season additions, Alex?
Well, good. I mean, we were very enthusiastic about our younger players are taking steps. Logan Mayu, the addition, it's going to be interesting to see. He's looked very prepared and very, very eager to get going here. We have a good mix with our veteran presence there on the back end is phenomenal with their leadership and just how they play the game on both sides of the puck. And so there's a good balance and a lot of support for the guys as they're entering into this season.
Full training camp starts on the 17th, and then Doug Armstrong will have his opening season press conference. I always love listening to what he has to say. Your relationship seems so good. Every time we have Army on the air, he speaks very highly of how you have absorbed, and not to mention Mr. Stillman when we have him on, about how you have absorbed everything. How do you observe and take in what you're given as what's coming, that you will be running this front office?
Well, first and foremost, the people that I'm surrounded by and that Doug and Tom have surrounded themselves with. It's a joy to work with everyone. The support that they've given me and the time that they've given me with my learning and going through the experiences I've gone through in the last year and a bit, I would say almost 2 years. And, being able to work as closely to Doug and I got here around the same time and worked together for a long time as manager player, and similar relationship, but different roles. And, he pushed me as an athlete and certainly made me push my ceiling and see how far I could take it. And now he's doing a similar thing, but on this side of the game. So it's obviously very humble and honored to be in this position. And it's been a great experience. I feel like I'm soaking in as much as I possibly can, and support from the players and everyone's been fantastic. So I'm excited to get going on another season here.
Time marches on, but it is so much fun. It feels like it just happened, although it's been 6+ years since you won the Stanley Cup. It was just, I think it's a party that we're still recovering from here in St. Louis, to be honest with you. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, the party, the excitement, the fun that we had here in St. Louis in the summer of 19.
I agree. And it's just unique. I noticed it when I first moved here, and it's why we want to raise our kids here. The connection the sports teams, and especially us Blues, have with the city and the fans and the community, it's unique. I think I haven't experienced it. I've been to different places and haven't experienced it to this level. And I think it's why we feel that way in moments like that, is because they are shared with each other. And it was unique. That's for sure.
There's a great connection between the fans and this team. You can go see them practice at Centene. The first preseason home game, September 27th against the Blackhawks. Single game tickets for all preseason and regular season games are available now at Ticketmaster.com. And they have those new Blues jerseys on sale this week at stlauthentics.com and in the team store at Enterprise Center. I really look forward to this upcoming season. And, of course, what's to come in the NHL? Just a new season is upon us, optimism, but also excitement, just getting hockey back again. Steener, it's going to be great.
Yes, it is. We're looking forward to getting back to work, getting everybody back in the dressing room. And like I said, we got a lot of work to do, but everybody's kind of chomping at the bit right now to get going. So it's a good feeling, and look forward to seeing everybody down at the Enterprise Center here soon.
Great to be with you on KMOX. We'll catch up with you soon. Have a great day.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Tom.
Thank you. Alex Steen with us on KMOX. Great to talk some hockey again. We'll take a break for the news, but when we come back, we are going to dive right back into what's happening today. It's NFL Week 1. We'll do our NFL picks at the top of the hour, as we've done every season. We'll do that throughout the season. Then at 11:15, we'll head up to Norwood Hills Country Club. Ron Kruszewski, the Stiefel CEO, with KMOX's Dan Reardon. At 11:30, John Mozeliak joins us. What a day that was at Busch Stadium yesterday, with Hall of Fame induction ceremonies and the walk-off winner for Jordan Walker from start to finish. It was a great day for the Cardinals. And at 11:45, Bernie Miklasz on all things sports. We'll concentrate on a lot of baseball, I'm sure, with Bernie at 11:45. The Enjoy Illinois 300. The gates are open. Enjoy that. We'll be back after the news.
I always get asked, when's the best time of the year to purchase an air conditioning and heating system for your home? My response is always the same. If you call me and have a free consultation on your needs and based on your budget, it's always a good time. There's never a bad time. You don't fear my pricing. I try to buy as much as I can at the start of the season, and anything we have left over, it's still a discounted price to you. So if you're looking or you're waiting before winter, because we all put it off, man. We all put it off. None of us like to spend money. But if you know you're going to be doing something before winter, call me, Bart Inman. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We are visiting with Dr. Premal Thacker.
I think the key is recognizing symptoms and not ignoring them to say, oh, I think that's going to go away. So I highly encourage anyone who's listening, if they're having abnormal bleeding or hasn't seen their gynecologist in a while, to really make that appointment to ensure that you're getting the best health.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, please visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Feel like your paycheck barely keeps up with your life? At the Financial Freedom Seminar, learn how real people are building passive income and retiring early using real estate. It's all happening live in St. Louis with Lifestyles Unlimited, September 27th and 28th. You'll leave with a step-by-step plan to change your future. Text radio to 88007. That's September 27th and 28th. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007 now.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20.
Late freedom, visit consumercellular.com/facts or store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Millions are choosing NordVPN to stay safer online. Get NordVPN today with 77% off and up to 3 months extra. NordVPN will encrypt your online traffic and help you avoid phishing, scams, and malware. Get the special NordVPN deal today at nordvpn.com. This offer includes a 77% discount on a 2-year plan and up to 3 extra months. Savings and additional terms apply and can be found on nordvpn.com. The offer is valid until October 15th.
KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Christopher Cruz in Washington. There's good news and bad for President Trump in the latest CBS News poll. CBS News White House correspondent Linda Kenyon has the numbers.
CBS's Deputy Director of Elections and Surveys, Jennifer DePinto, says President Trump's job approval has ticked up, but it's still low.
at 44%. President Trump's approval rating is up 2 points from July after steadily declining over the weeks and months of his term.
When it comes to the economy, the majority of Americans surveyed said they believe the Federal Reserve should be independent of the president and should not be pressured by him on interest rates and personnel matters. The poll also found most Americans are not fond of Trump's deployment of National Guard troops in U.S. cities.
There's outrage over a social media post by President Trump that shows him in a scene from the 1979 Vietnam War movie Apocalypse Now, saying Chicago is about to find out why it's called the Department of War. Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth on CBS's Face the Nation.
Let's make it clear. The President of the United States essentially just declared war on a major city in his own nation. This is not normal. This is not acceptable behavior.
Democrats in the U.S. House say they have enough Republican support to pass a resolution requiring the release of the Epstein files. California Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna on ABC.
We have the 218 votes, 216 already supported. There are 2 vacancies that haven't been reported as much, but 2 Democrats are going to be joining, and they are both committed to signing it. That's going to happen by the end of September.
People in Hawaii are closely watching the progress of Hurricane Kiko. It's now a Category 3 storm that's north of the islands, but Navy hurricane specialist meteorologist Dave Roberts at the National Hurricane Center says Hawaii will still feel the effects of the storm.
Right now, the most significant impact will be something that we're expecting along the eastern portions of the islands, and that'll be increasing swells, heavy, rough surf, and also rip currents.
At the Vatican today, Pope Leo elevated Carlo Acutis to sainthood. Carlo was 15 when he died in 2006 of leukemia. He's the first millennial to be canonized. Acutis used technology to spread his Catholic faith. Antonia Salzano, the new saint's mother, spoke to the BBC.
He had a special gift for computer programming, but he used the skills for evangelizing.
Russia today hit the Ukrainian capital Kyiv with drones and missiles in the largest aerial attack since Russia invaded the country in February 2022. 4 people were killed, 44 others wounded. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At 11:03, sunny and 68 downtown at the Arch. Good morning, I'm Scott Jagow. Our top story, President Trump doubling down this weekend on his promise to send National Guard troops into Chicago, even dubbing the crackdown on immigration Chickopolis Now. Hancock and Kelly's thoughts? Republican analyst John Hancock says what the president's doing with this campaign is deflecting. He's trying to turn the news away from things that aren't going so well for him.
And one of them is the state of the economy, very poor jobs report for August. Clearly, the Epstein files continues to be an issue that doesn't go away. So I think a lot of these actions that you see are meant to just create a lot of alternate news.
Democratic analyst Michael Kelly sees President Trump reaching for wins because the losses are piling up.
He promised he was going to lower prices on day one. He was going to open up the Epstein files. He was going to end the war. Donald Trump hasn't delivered on anything he promised. In fact, everything he's promised has gone the opposite direction.
An unusual theft on Friday night. The owner of the food truck K-Pop tells KMOX when she left her restaurant on Del Mar, the truck was there.
But when Joy returned Saturday morning, she said the truck was gone.
So it was there for a long time. We already parked there, and I mean, it's just so horrible how they just find out truck and then just stolen.
Joy tells KMOX in addition to their regular restaurant, they have a lot of food truck business as well.
We're always going out, and every day we almost use the truck. And today we had a schedule on 9 Mile Garden, and we couldn't come because the truck's gone.
We have a picture of the K-Bop truck at KMOX.com. Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
Former St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones will have a new job in the spring. She's been chosen as an inaugural fellow at WashU. This is for the Center for the Study of Racial, Ethnicity, and Equity. According to the website for the center, it started 5 years ago after recommendations from the Schools Commission on Diversity and Inclusion.
KMOX AccuWeather this afternoon will be sunny and nice to end the weekend. High 74. Clear and cool tonight, low 51 with 40s in most suburbs. Back to work tomorrow, sunny and nice 78. A touch warmer Tuesday, partly sunny as we hit 83. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Bill Degger on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Thanks, Bill. It's 66 right now in St. Peter's, 67 in Florissant, and 68 downtown at the Arch. I'm Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
From KMOX Sports, this is the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Welcome in. It's time for our NFL picks week 1. Let's get it. And then we'll get into NASCAR and golf and baseball. It's all coming. Enjoy Illinois 300. They're already gathering over there at Worldwide Technology Raceway. We had a great chat with Kevin Coleman, the wide receiver from Mizzou. We had a good visit as well with Alex Steen of the Blues last hour. We heard from all 3 drivers I think have a great shot at winning. Christopher Bell and Chase Briscoe and Austin Cindric, the defending champion. But let's do some NFL picks, and let's do them right now. Now, you got to be a little careful here reading the experts online because everybody are watching ESPN or something. Everybody loved the Eagles. Eagles. They're going to kill the Cowboys in the opening game. They won, but they didn't cover. Philadelphia was a 7-point favorite, didn't cover. We do covers on this thing. For your entertainment, and those of you that are out there having a good time, I'm going to help you out a little bit. Everybody loved the Chiefs -3. Chiefs. Nope. The Chargers covered. My point is the NFL is unpredictable. You just never know on any given Sunday what you're going to get. So let me get into it and start with our noon games. And let's begin with Tampa Bay and Atlanta. The Falcons are home. They are a 1-point favorite against the Bucs. I'm going to take the Bucs +1 in this game on the road. I don't really know enough about Atlanta's full team success here. I think they have some pieces, but I need to see it to believe it. I'm going to go Bucs +1 in this game. Cincinnati at Cleveland. That spread has moved around a little bit. It's currently at 4.5. It was at 5. So people are taking the Browns, I assume, with that thing starting to drop a little bit. This is a must win for the Browns, I think, if they want to get their season going. And I just don't see it today. It's a must win for them. They have to have it, and they're not going to get it. I'm going Bengals -4.5 at Cleveland. I think the Bengals come out firing in this game. They've got to be great this year and get over the hump, and they need to get their defense together. Let's see. How about Miami at Indianapolis? I just don't trust the Colts. I'm going Miami +1 at Indianapolis this afternoon. Vegas at New England. The Patriots are 2.5-point favorites against the Las Vegas Raiders. And I've kind of gone back and forth on this one, to be honest with you. This is a really small spread. I hate those 2.5s. It was at 3, and now it's at 2.5. I'm going to take the Patriots just because they're at home, but I wouldn't put this one in your locks or anything like that. I don't have a good feel on that one. I don't really love either team. That's probably why. Arizona at New Orleans. I love the Cardinals here. I love the Cardinals -6. I think the Saints are bad. I'm going to go Cardinals -6 today in New Orleans. Pittsburgh at the Jets. Give me Steelers in this one -3. Steelers they're a 3-point favorite at the Jets, and I like them to cover that. Steelers -3. Giants at Washington. Ooh, you knew I was riding the Commanders all year last year. They're a 6-point favorite. It was 6.5. It's down to 6, Drew, against your Giants. Give me Jaden Daniels, and the outstanding Washington Commanders. I love them. Commanders -6. All over the Giants today. It's a great rivalry, too, going back in the day. Carolina at Jacksonville. I'll take the Jags at home, -4.5. Tennessee at Denver. Broncos are very interesting. They could challenge the Chiefs in the AFC West, I do believe. It's an 8.5-point spread. That's a lot of points in the NFL, but I'm going to take the Broncos minus 8.5. I think that's a sucker bet to take. They're trying to get you to take the Titans. 8.5, baby. Broncos cover that today. San Francisco at Seattle. Seahawks a 1-point dog at home. Interesting. I'm going to go Niners on the road, -1 at Seattle. Detroit at Green Bay. People are starting to buzz about the Packers again. The Lions, though, are going to handle business today. A 1-point dog on the road at Green Bay. They'll win at Lambeau. Lions +1 today, and we'll see how Green Bay ends up. They're good. I'll give them that. Houston at the Rams. LA is a 3-point favorite against the Texans. Give me Texans +3 in that ball game. Oh, this is one that Scott Jagow wants to know what I'm going to do here. A 7:20 kickoff tonight, Baltimore at Buffalo. What a phenomenal start to the football season. It is a 1-point spread at this point, and and the Bills are dogs at home against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Bills all day. And it's going to be a great game, but I can't bet against the Bills in their home opener on Sunday Night Football, and they're underdogs, even though it's just a point. I'm going to go Buffalo +1. And then the Monday night game, Minnesota at Chicago, another great game. And the Vikings are great. I'll tell you, this is a different Bears team. Now, I don't want to jump on the bandwagon and get too excited, but I do think that Caleb Williams, with Ben Johnson overseeing that offense coming from Detroit, he has, I think, so far shown us a lot of vanilla in the preseason. I don't think there's been a whole lot to look at. He's got some weapons, and he's got Caleb Williams to play around with. I hope Luther Burden gets some catches, but he's not in that top of the rotation of receivers just yet. All that said, I got Bears +1, 1-point dogs. Give me Bears +1 against the Vikings on Monday Night Football. We'll take a break. When we come back, Ron Kruszewski, the CEO of Stifel, with KMOX's Dan Reardon, discussing the Stifel Charity Classic at Norwood Hills Country Club. Then John Mozeliak, Cardinals President of Baseball Operations, will be joining us live at 11:30 after a wonderful day at Busch Stadium, Hall of Fame ceremony, followed by a thriller of a ninth inning for the Cardinals. Bernie Miklasz joins us at 11:45. It's sports on a Sunday morning. Ron Kruszewski is next from his Stifel Sports Studio.
Your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. 104.1 FM. KMOX.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No pain, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
Me!
That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Get insights on the go. Download the California Psychics app today.
Today, the Cards, the Giants.
Ameren Total Access 1220.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM KMOX. Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Often in sports franchises that they go from dusk to dawn. But that's really the case of the Stifel Charity Classic. And joining us to talk about that sort of savior moment is Ron Kruszewski, the CEO of Stifel. Ron, first of all, thanks for the time on KMOX, and thank you for keeping the event here in St. Louis for us.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and I'm glad you're out here.
Let's go back a year ago, and I don't want any deep, dark secrets, but it was no great secret that Ascension had looked at the franchise and decided financially it made no sense for them. Give us a time frame from when you first had an inkling that you were going to get involved till you cut the deal.
You know, it was basically 2 days, to just be frank with you. Ascension, who's done a great job, and they're still involved, but they decided they weren't going to be title sponsor. Frankly, the governor called me and said, hey, we can't lose this event. I agreed. And, Stifel's a big supporter of sports in St. Louis and really across the country. So it was an easy decision. To pick this up was simply easy. It's good business and good for the community.
And it's a civic choice because you're St. Louis. And the idea that the local community is involved and you save it in that situation makes it even better.
Well, it does, but also the cause. It's for charity. It's for charities here in North County. This is a great club. So the ability to do something that's not only good business, and it is, because it's good for Stifel, but more importantly, it's good for the community. St. Louis is such a phenomenal sports community. And then it's good also for people in need.
And you knew this event because when they would do the Legends series on Saturdays, Ron was always there, part of it. So you had an edge that you knew what you were getting involved in.
Absolutely. They used to let me play in the Celebrity Challenge. Don't ask me why, but they did. But I knew what I was getting involved with. There is a great foundation for this event. So again, people think it was going away, and maybe it was, but not if we had anything to do with it. So obviously we're here, and it's going to be packed. We expect, last year on a Friday, I think we had 2,000 people. We expect 10,000 today.
So let's get to that. When you look at it now from the insider point of view, what did you prioritize that you wanted to do this year that may have been different from last year?
Well, we wanted it to be good for families, and we wanted it to be people that might want to come out that aren't necessarily just golf fans. So we have a kids zone. If you go there, there's kids. They have pop-up magic shows. So if you want to bring your family, what a great way to come out here. Come on out, and the kids will enjoy it. You can walk around. And then tonight we're doing OAR, which is a great band, and the people have really embraced that. So again, we'll have music fans out here tonight, not just necessarily golf fans.
And the event itself draws the players. Your fields have been good every year. And I was struck by the fact last year, I don't remember who the player was, maybe a couple of mentioned, they liked the idea on the senior tour of coming to metropolitan areas.
They really do. They like it. They come out. You'll see them out tonight in various restaurants. They love coming to St. Louis. So this is good. And you know what? And here's the thing that I'm really happy about was that this year, it's our first year, but already St. Louis has earned next year a playoff spot. We are the first round of the Schwab Cup in October of next year. So the top 70 PGA Champion Tour players will be here in St. Louis next year. So that's like catching lightning in the bottle for me.
And you went exactly where I wanted to go next, which is the future. Same kind of question that I asked you about becoming the title sponsor on this event. Give us the time frame on the transition from your September date and being a local stop to being a playoff stop.
Again, the PGA Tour just called and said, we got an opportunity for you if you want to do it. And we said, of course we do. So it's serendipitous a little bit, but very, very fortunate for St. Louis. It's going to be a great event.
And from a marketing standpoint, whether it be corporate sponsors or whatever it might be, the prestige of that event has to be a positive. And then the movement of the date. I have been asking for years how they could run this event in early September opposite BMW in late August. Now you're in a better situation.
Absolutely. The BMW is going to be great too. I'm out at Belle Reve myself, and I'm looking forward to that. But we're not just getting it for 1 year. We're going to be a Champions Tour playoff rotation, or not the first round of the playoffs. So this is great for St. Louis, and I'm thrilled to be part of it.
What have you not been able to do that you still would like to do with this event?
Well, I think if what we want is we want more people to come out to Norwood. The parking's easy. It's easy to get here. The food is great. The entertainment's great. The players are great. And now the weather's great. So, you know what? If you have nothing to do this weekend, come on out. Have a good time. I promise you it'll be fun.
And you mentioned the weather. Again, going back to players 2 days ago, we're asked about the October date. Weather could be an issue, but really October in St. Louis is more predictably in your favor than against you.
Well, look, I think that we're fortunate now that it isn't some 90 degrees with 80% humidity even here early September. October is a great time, and a great time to play golf in St. Louis, so it's going to be good.
What about volunteers at that time of the year?
The volunteers we have more volunteers than we can even have volunteer. It's unbelievable. So I believe that next year, even with kids all back in school and everyone here, we're going to have a ton of volunteers.
We're doing this on radio, so people can't see this, but the entire interview, Ron is smiling the entire time. You're enjoying this.
How can I not smile? This is great. Again, it's great for the community. It's great for St. Louis. I like it. You know, we support the Cardinals, we support the Blues, and we support the U.S. ski team. It's a Steeple U.S. ski team. So I like sports. I like all that sports means. But again, the Steeple Charity Classic benefits people in need, and that's very important. So thank you to the community for supporting this.
And thank you for, as I said, keeping this event alive and the time on KMOX.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
That is Stiefel CEO Ron Kruszewski, who is a great guy. He's a great friend, obviously, of our radio station, a great partner. He's a sponsor on this show, the Stiefel Sports Studio. But Ron is just really great for the community. He is the CEO of Stiefel, but he also wants to drive people to St. Louis and is a big supporter of St. Louis. He has adopted St. Louis, and he has made his home here for many years. And taking hold of this tournament and giving back to the community with the Stiefel Charity Classic is just, as he said, the beginning of his journey with this tournament. When he gets his hands on something, he makes it great. And he knows how to throw a party. That celebrity challenge that he did was a party here in St. Louis that featured Ozzie Smith and Adam Wainwright, and you had Blues coach Jim Montgomery and Hall of Famer Chris Pronger and so many others that were firing shots at night, glow-in-the-dark balls at these greens, and people were cheering them on, and Jack Nicklaus shows up to the party, and that was a heck of a night. And then I went out there on Friday just to walk the golf course at Norwood and visit with everybody, and they do a wonderful job there. They I'm very close with the veterans here in St. Louis and all the efforts to make veterans' lives better and their families. Folds of Honor was a big part of Friday, Folds of Honor Friday at the Stiefel Charity Classic. So hats off to Ron Kruszewski for all that he does for the St. Louis area and taking hold of this tournament, the Stifel Charity Classic, and keeping it thriving in St. Louis for many years to come. Yesterday was a very special day at Busch Stadium. Al Raboski and Edgar Renteria were inducted into the Cardinals Hall of Fame, and I had a chance to visit with both of them on Friday in a Q&A segment, and then the Maryville Walk of Fame plaques were put into the sidewalk in their honor. But also, Walt Jocketty was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and it was an emotional moment yesterday as Joey Jocketty, Walt's son, gave a speech, and he read the speech that Walt wrote before he passed away, knowing that he was going into the Hall of Fame. So wonderful that we were able to hear Walt's words, but certainly bittersweet because Mr. Jocketty is not with us. Loved Walt Jocketty. He was a big part of this show, visiting with Ron Jacober for many years, and obviously he built the Cardinals into a powerhouse in the early 2000s. Here's Joey Jocketty visiting with reporters after the induction ceremony yesterday. Joey Jocketty sitting down with the St. Louis media and visiting with reporters.
January, so just seeing the look on his face when he found out. So it's meant the world to all our families here, my sister and mom and all my dad's siblings. And so, yeah, just incredible to come back here. It's such a special place. So.
You mentioned that during the speech too, that the fact that he was able to know this before he passed. How would you try to encapsulate what the significance of that was for him? Just to know.
Well, I actually got to tell him, and so I mean, he said it was the highlight of his career. So and it was during a tough time for him. So it meant the world to him.
It's Joey Jocketty, and it's great to hear him. And he is such a terrific young man who has a lot of Walt's characteristics, class, and his demeanor, and the way that he explains things. It was nice to say hello to him and visit with him on Friday, and to see him on Saturday make that presentation for his father. When we come back, a man who came over to St. Louis because of Walt Jocketty, John Mozeliak, the Cardinals president of baseball operations, will be with us. I'm Tom Ackerman. You're listening to Sports on a Sunday Morning from the Stifel Sports Studio.
KMOX Weekend at your service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
It's back, and you're invited to join us in Forest Park, September 19th and 20th, for the 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend, presented by PNC Bank. Attendance is free, and the number of memories and photos you can capture is endless. Special thanks to New Ground International and Blue Moon Brewing Company. The 53rd Annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race Weekend. For more details, visit the events page at KMOX.com.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home, 2 gig upload, 2 gig download mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com.
Outdoor solutions, patios, pergolas, sunrooms, fences, decks, even retaining walls. There's only one place to turn. You know it by now. Chesterfield Fence and Deck. The sign you have the very best. ChesterfieldFence.com. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, since 1968, has been the trusted fence and deck builder in St. Louis, and they do, as I said, much more than that, sunrooms as well. From sleek vinyl fencing to timeless wood decks, they deliver top quality that stands the test of time. I would recommend you visit their showroom, Chesterfield Fence and Deck, located in Chesterfield Valley. They serve the entire St. Louis area, but their showroom in Chesterfield Valley is going to blow your mind. It explores a wide range of options. You can discover how they can help you create the perfect outdoor space. When you walk through there, it's like walking through someone's neighborhood, and you can see and touch and feel all of the materials that they have, and then let their team go to work. Free consultation, and once you say yes, you're going to have the best. The sign you have the very best is Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Mention me, Tom Ackerman, and receive 48 months interest-free financing on your next outdoor project with Chesterfield Fence and Deck.
At Tax Relief Advocates, we get it. Thinking about back taxes to the IRS can be very unsettling. Don't lose hope. With thousands of 5-star Google reviews and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, TRA is resolving taxpayers' delinquent tax problems nationwide once and for all. We could significantly reduce and even eliminate what you owe the IRS. If you haven't filed your taxes in years or are already facing collections, we can help. We aren't just some run-of-the-mill tax service company. We specialize in helping individuals and businesses with $10,000, $50,000, or even $500,000 in back taxes get speedy resolution. And in many cases, only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. The IRS isn't going anywhere, and neither is your tax problem. To see what tax relief you qualify for, visit TRA.com or call 800-335-8578. 800-335-8578. Again, that's 800-335-8578. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I'm Dave Glover, and I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Dr. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. Just go to youridoc.com.
Now, back to the Great Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. It is always great to have the Cardinals president of baseball operations, John Mozeliak, with us, especially on a game day. Good morning, Mo. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning, Tommy.
Cards and Giants this afternoon. Cardinals going for a series win. That was a lot of fun last night for sure. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But I want to start from the beginning yesterday, if we could, and that would be at 3 o'clock when we all gathered at Ballpark Village to see the Hall of Fame ceremony once again. The red jackets behind you, Bill DeWitt Jr., Bill DeWitt III next to you, and at the podium, the three speakers. And I want to begin with Joey Jocketty because we all loved Walt. We were very close with Walt. He did a lot for you, I know, and I don't know that there was a person in that crowd that wasn't feeling the emotion seeing the very poised Joey Jocketty deliver his father's speech.
Oh yeah, it was really amazing. I thought he did just an incredible job, and knowing Joey back when he was just a little guy, it was sort of cool to see how he's grown up and matured. And I know Sue and his sister Ashley were so proud of him, and I know his father Walt would have been as well. And it was obviously a very special and touching moment.
You had a special relationship. It was Walt Jocketty that brought you to St. Louis. Take me back to those days when you made the trek over here to St. Louis under the guidance of Walt Jocketty.
Yeah, so Walt and I met when he was he was assistant GM for the Colorado Rockies under Bob Gebhardt, and that's where our connection began. And then when he got named the GM here, obviously it was during the strike-shortened year. But then he reached out to me in '95 and asked me to come join him in St. Louis. And obviously, it was great for my career, and my experience with Walt was really kind of amazing. It was more than just a working relationship. We were good friends, and I learned a lot from him. And I look back at that time, and I can only think of just a big smile on my face because we had so much fun together.
When I think about him, if I could narrow it down to one word, I would say classy. He just, the way he carried himself and the way he worked with people. I think people just enjoyed working with Walt Jocketty, don't you think?
Oh, I think that's right. He was a fun boss. He was, liked to win, very competitive. Obviously had a lot of success on the baseball side. And like I said, he was just a great guy to learn from.
What was that like when things started to turn, and beginning with, and we can tie in Edgar Renteria, when after Mark McGwire did what he did in 1998 and 99, there was a real push, and you were drafting some big players at that time also, to get this franchise back to its winning ways. What was that offseason going into 2000 like when all those players started to become acquired?
Well, I think back to like Walt's time here, and the word transitional or transformational was probably what fits the most, because it got the Cardinals back to really being relevant, and Mark McGwire was part of that. Tony La Russa was part of that, and then from an ownership standpoint, Bill DeWitt gave us opportunities to go chase some things. And that's ultimately what we were able to do. And so, when you combine all of that, the climate around here was just to try to be great. And it was like super cool to be a part of. And, you look back at all those moves and all the players that were acquired in terms of like Roland, Edmonds, Larry Walker, Renteria. I mean, it was all led to the successes we had, and obviously to a world championship.
And a world champion, yeah, in 2006, a world championship, and that was 10 years after the 96 playoffs that you mentioned. The team was back, and Tony La Russa was in charge. That couldn't have been easy for Walt to fire Joe Torre, who he respected immensely, and then to bring in Tony. But a decade later, you won it. And yes, looking back, Edgar Renteria, not that he's a forgotten piece. We all obviously knew what he did, but there were so many pieces. I guess the best way you could describe Edgar, who was a phenomenal defensive player, was that you could hit him anywhere in the order, couldn't you, John? And he would come through for you. He was a winning player.
Oh, absolutely. And, from an offensive standpoint, he was just a really good hitter. And, he obviously was very steady defensively, but the fact is like he had the ability to have, big hits. And, I remember like when he was a free agent, like, Walt and I were trying to do everything we could to make him stay. And it just, unfortunately we couldn't get it done. But, like anything, when someone moves on, you got to find someone else to move in. And we were able to do that. And so, you look at his legacy here for the Cardinals, though, he was part of that really when things started to turn. And, clearly now he's a Red Jacket, and he'll always be memorialized here.
He's so appreciative of it. And on Friday, when he and I did the Q&A with Al Raboski, he told me he was really nervous to go up on stage for that Friday Walk of Fame ceremony. And I said, you're going to be fine. And, because his English is limited, but he did great. And I'll say Saturday's present, he knocked it out of the park. I mean, he said he was only going to do a minute, but he was funny. He was engaging. He had that big smile. He did great.
Yeah, these things are, it's always tough. And some guys, they're very natural when they get behind that mic, and others, it's tough, especially when English is your second language. But I thought he was amazing, and, I appreciate the brevity.
Yeah, and then Al Raboski, who is no stranger to a microphone, he took over from there. When you think of people who have represented our organization here in St. Louis, truly, like in his heart, wanted the Cardinals to be great, Al Raboski fits that.
Yeah, I think like what he's meant to this franchise, just first off, you got to realize like how long he's been a part of this is just kind of amazing. And then, impact as a player, impact as an ambassador, impact behind the mic. And I think everybody around Al and anybody who's gotten to be friends with him over the years just knows he's genuine, he's authentic, and he's just a special guy.
And then to cap it all off last night, it's Jordan Walker celebrating. It's Jordan Walker getting doused by his teammates. It's Walker breaking an 0 for 25 and delivering a walk-off hit. That was some night, some inning for the Cardinals to beat the Giants.
That's what makes baseball so special, right? I mean, for 8 innings, you're just kind of like, missed opportunities, what we could have done here, what we could have done there. And then you get a leadoff hit, another base runner, another hit, and all of a sudden it's like, here we go. And that's why you never give up in this game. And it's hard for people that don't really understand it to appreciate that, but you're always in it, and you got to compete for 9, and that's how it works.
And I'm sure you've heard about what was said this past week. It was on our station, Ollie Marmol, Brant Brown. They were very open about Jordan, wanting to make sure he continues to prepare and do all that he needs to do to be great. I took it as 2 coaches who are pushing a young man to be the best he can possibly be, and they did it publicly. It's not easy, I'm sure, for the player, but here he is celebrating on the field on a Saturday night.
Look, this is a hard game. You've heard me say this 100 times. It's, getting to the big leagues is hard. Staying's harder. It's what are you doing? How are you contributing? And, he's a very talented player. He can do something that most people can't in terms of how hard he can hit the ball. But if you don't hit it consistently, if you don't hit it often enough, doesn't matter. And, that's ultimately what Brownie and Ollie and all our coaches really want to see out of him, is just get into a consistent routine, understand what those expectations are. And when you come out of that tunnel on a daily basis, hopefully your production allows you to stay in this league. That's what you're hoping for.
Cardinals taking on the Giants today with Sonny Gray on the mound. He'll have a fire burning after his last start. What happened where he said he felt good, but it didn't come through for him. And then I'm curious about Nolan Arenado, talking about fire still burning. I think he probably thinks he has a little more to prove here before this season is over. What are you hearing about Arenado's health?
Yeah, I'm hoping that this week goes well for him in terms of like full baseball activity, and hopefully get out for a short rehab. Maybe as soon as the middle or end of this week. And then, fingers crossed, he's rejoining us a week from Monday. So that's what I'm hoping for. And obviously, I know he wants to get back on the field and contribute. Look, we're still mathematically in this. So, like, getting healthy and coming back, it's to me, it's like, we're not giving up. So we're going to keep going.
The reports coming out of the ballpark that Brendan Donovan would go take a little live BP tomorrow as well. That's a good sign too. That's kind of been a slow sort of inching along recovery for Donnie.
Yeah, a bit surprising, I think, given when we were down in Miami, we kept trying to buy a day or two, and then, ultimately here we are. But I also think, if all goes well this week, we could see him maybe as soon as the weekend. So my fingers are crossed.
Appreciate your time. Thank you. Congratulations on a great day yesterday, and best of luck today against the Giants.
All right, Tommy. Thank you.
Good to visit with John Mozeliak as always. When we come back, Bernie Miklas joins us on KMOX, and then we have Cardinals pregame. I will have that at 12:20 today with much more updates on what's happening with the club, and we get closer and closer to game time. Back in a moment, sports on a Sunday morning from the Stifel Sports Studio.
Missouri, get ready! The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code KMOX to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. That's code KMOX in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
You might know Graybar for cable and connectivity, but there's one more thing you should know us for that can help optimize your project's total value, like our comprehensive electronic solutions for security, AV, wireless, and networking, or our specialized job site services, like material staging and kitting, or maybe our logistics specialists who can help you identify efficiencies and ensure just-in-time delivery. So consider what one more thing you may need to optimize your bottom line and get to know us for that. Yep. Graybar does that.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back. It is Sports on a Sunday morning. We are coming to you from the Stifel Sports Studio. There is so much going on right now in St. Louis. It is absolutely out of control. And as Bernie Miklasz and I would say often when we were hanging out together back in the day, everyone is going bananas, especially me. I can't get enough. I can't be in 2, 3, 4 places at one time, but I sure as hell have tried. Bernie Miklasz, how are you?
I'm doing good. I feel you, man, because yesterday I had a choice to make. I would have loved to have gone downtown for the Cardinals Hall of Fame induction ceremony, but I'm like, listen, with all due respect, I can catch up on that later, watch the video of it later. I got to watch Mizzou and Kansas live. I just have to. So I was able to, just watch that game and delight in everything that happened. What a great day in Columbia, Missouri yesterday.
What a great game for Eli Drinkowitz. Had to have it. I mean, you cannot lose to Kansas at home after all of this. You're trying to build something, and here come the Jayhawks, and they're actually pretty good. And Mizzou comes back 3 different times, Bernie. What was your biggest takeaway from that game for the Tigers?
Listen, it would be silly for any of us, even if we're all the passionate Mizzou fans, to, act obviously like this was some perfect game. I mean, the offensive line was inconsistent. I mean, KU had 7 tackles for losses, 4 sacks. So, and my point, everybody hear me out. I'm not looking to nitpick a win. My point is, you had the scoop, you had the fumble scoop for a touchdown off Bo Prebulo's fumble. All of a sudden, KU's up 21-6. Not sure about the kicker, all that stuff. And my point is, even with some bad things baked in and things that have to get better and things that could have just knocked Mizzou off the tracks to stay as far as that entire game, after being down 21-6, they responded 100% like you would dream a good team that you love would respond. I mean, over the final 3 quarters, they outgained Kansas by 305 yards. And, huge difference on the scoreboard, too. And I think the other takeaway about this, the team's tenacity and perseverance, and they didn't get rattled or shaken by their own mistakes. It's 21-6, and I'm thinking, I didn't think, oh, man, they're going to lose. I thought, wow, I guess there's a chance they could lose this game. And then from that point on, pretty much brilliant. And like you said, every time they had to respond by overcoming deficits, like late in the game, because KU wouldn't go away, they always had a response. And that's what you wanted to see. And I think the other thing we learned for sure is, 2 things. They found their quarterback. Bo Prebulo's really, 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 really good. And they also have an outstanding running game. So the defense has got a lot of speed. The defense can make plays. Jalen Daniels is going to make any defense look good on any given series or play. So I thought there was just a lot to be happy about. But more than anything, it's the way they answered the challenge when things were a little shaky.
The Tigers get the win 42-31 over Kansas. We had Kevin Coleman on the show last hour, St. Louis kid, 10 catches, 126 yards, and a touchdown. And Norfleet, the tight end, another St. Louis kid, 2 touchdown catches. You're absolutely right. Perbula had himself a day. Ahmad Hardy's a dynamic running back. I like this Missouri team. We'll continue to watch them. Illinois is legit. Illinois put the clamps on Duke in the second half. They were fumbling the ball, and Illinois just smacked them around 45-19 after being only up 1 at the half. I think the Illinois team's for real, Bernie.
Yeah, I think so too. I watched that game, the entire game. And, I was just like watching the Mizzou game. I was a little frustrated because, there were some self-committed errors and things like that, penalties. Coach Bielema wasn't real happy at halftime. But, man, they came out in the second half and just whomped Duke. I mean, they just thrashed them. And, 5-0 on the turnover differential. So they kept forcing Duke into mistake after mistake after mistake. And they just, metaphorically speaking, they just grabbed them by the throat in that second half and wouldn't let go. And that's the kind of style of football that is inspirational when you watch Illinois. I mean, they don't take no mess. They're physical. They're nasty. They shake up the other team, cause mistakes, things like that. And, Tom, I want to ask you this because I was reading some of the stuff nationally, and there seems to be a theme emerging, even though it's very early. It's like, the question, national media, is Illinois this year's and Indiana? What do you think?
Well, I think that Illinois was already good. Indiana last year wasn't picked by anybody to do anything, and they came flying out of the gates. They went undefeated and ended up losing to Ohio State, killed Purdue, and then lost to Notre Dame in the playoff. I think that Illinois is currently a playoff team, but we're going to find out on September 20th because they're going to visit Indiana. Wait. Both teams are going to be – it's going to be awesome. Both teams will be undefeated. Wait. I know. You and I should go to that. I should take you to that.
I mean, I absolutely cannot wait for that game. That's going to be fantastic.
Yeah. Signetti will be out of his mind. He'll be bonkers. They'll be 3-0, both of them. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait for that.
Can I go back to Mizzou for one second here, or a couple seconds? All right. Since the start of the 23 season, they're now 23-5. Okay. There's only 9 Power 4 plus Notre Dame teams in the nation have 23 wins since the start of 2023. Mizzou's one of the 9. Only Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, Texas. Only Ohio State, Georgia, Oregon, and Texas have more wins than Mizzou among the Power 4 plus Notre Dame since the start of 2023. Only those 4, plus Mizzou's got as many wins as Penn State, Michigan, and Notre Dame. Their winning percentage is tied for 4th over the last 3 years among Power 4 plus Notre Dame teams, right? Can someone explain to me why they haven't been ranked? Can someone explain to me why – I just have to laugh at this. Why Florida, who finished pretty decently last season, who would have – how many people voted to actually rank Florida 13th coming into this weekend?
Yeah. No, it's
absurd.
It's absurd.
Right?
It's brand bias. And I'll tell you the reason is because brand, 1, but 2, they haven't blown anybody out. They win games kind of like they did yesterday. They just play with fire and find a way. But they blew Tennessee out when they were 13th in the country. I was there 36-7 2 years ago. I mean, they are capable of doing it. They smoked Arkansas that year too. So, they are a very, very good football team. And Eli Drinkwitz is a very good coach that a lot of teams are going to want. I assure you of that if he has another year like he's had the last 2 years. One final thing, Bernie, we got about 3 minutes left, but I've got to get to Jordan Walker walking it off yesterday because we all know all the things that happened out of our conversation with Brant Brown and Ollie Marmol on Tuesday. I just wanted to get your overall feelings on Walk and the walk-off.
Well, he needs positive reinforcement. I mean, anything positive is great. For him, I would say for him more than any other Cardinal. A positive moment like that, it doesn't mean that it's, he's turned the corner or anything. Of course, not going to overreact like that. But it was just great to see because that was a big spot. The game was on the line. He delivered. It was a great rally. You have Sajasi driving in one run to get the Cardinals close, and then Jordan Walker with the game-winning 2-run RBI. Listen, it's too early to give up on him. Obviously, he's 23 years old, and the thing of it is, though, you want to see him do more with his talent, and hearkening back to what Brant Brown said last Tuesday on the Gas House Gang, it isn't that they're down on him, and it isn't like they were seeking to rip him publicly. It wasn't that at all. Brant Brown, as people should know, you ask him a question, man, he's just going to tell you what he really thinks. And he just wants Jordan Walker to dig in more. Just dig in more and, prepare better. And also when you're going through a bad stretch, like don't go back to like using your same hitting approach that you're more comfortable with. I mean, I think he needed to hear that, and you wanted to see a favorable response. And maybe we saw that at the beginning of that last night. I certainly hope so.
I hope so too, and I thought it was a positive development, obviously, and just a lot of fun. I mean, that's what we're in the entertainment business, and it doesn't get much better than a walk-off for a guy who's been struggling. Bernie Miklasz, we appreciate you. Really great visit. It's just a crazy sports day. Soak it all in. NFL Week 1 on top of that. Those games are about to kick off. Love this time of year, my man, and we'll catch you on the Gas House gang here real soon.
All right. Thanks, Tommy. See you later.
See ya. There's Bernie Miklasz. Always great to visit with him. 11:45 every show, Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX. So let me set the table for you. We have Cardinal baseball coming at 12:20 for the pregame and 1:15 first pitch. I'll continue the show after the noon news and walk us up to 12:15 for our 5-minute break before we join the network. I also want to let you know about something that is happening on Tuesday. It's called the Wing Ding, and there are still tickets available for this awesome event at Chaifetz Arena. All you have to do is go to ucpheartland.com, .org, ucpheartland.org, and when you do, you can sign up for Wing Ding. Just grab a ticket. What is it? It is a wing competition. Who has the best wings in St. Louis? We are going to find out, and it benefits UCP Heartland, a memorable event. This is the 15th annual Wing Ding, a fundraising event. It's at Chaifetz Arena on Tuesday night from 6 to 9 p.m., ucpheartland.org for the Wing Ding. And I will be there, and there will be judges, dry rub, buffalo, and specialty are the 3 categories. And these wings are incredible. So come on out and eat a ton of wings and support a great cause. Back after the news on KMOX.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit